In the last two episodes, I built the dolly that goes under the container, and I built the hitch that goes on front of the container. And in this episode, we're going to load that stuff up onto my welding truck, hit the road, and drive 84 miles one direction to go get this thing. Before we get started here, I would like to address the route I'm taking. I am taking dirt roads all the way, even though there is a highway 7 miles over that I'm driving parallel to. There's two reasons why I'm not taking this highway. One, my truck is geared stupid low. I think it's got 565 gears in the rear end of this thing. The engine is absolutely screaming to hit 55 mile an hour in this thing. So I can put along a lot slower on the dirt roads and not try to go on this highway where people are literally traveling 70 to 75 and get very angry if you're doing anything less than 70 on. And on the way back, of course, I'm going to be dragging this container behind me, and if anything goes wrong with this hitch and dolly system, because I've not used this before, I would much rather be on a dirt road and have something go wrong than be cruising down a highway and having to deal with lots of traffic if something goes wrong. To recap, I'm saying because of the high speeds and because this is a prototype system, I'm going to stay off the pavement and take these back roads. Now we're getting ready to go under Interstate 70. This town here is called Yosemite. Switched to a sand road. We had a little correction at the county line. Oh, that wasn't the county line, was it? Not quite the county line. Alright. I don't know where we're at. I don't know why we had to jog over and then switch to sand road. For some reason, different district or something, but the county line's down here a couple more miles, so. Anywho. Well, we've gone 30 miles. Well, 50 more miles of this right here. Woo! Looks like we're coming up on a fire. Well, it was a fire. We had a lot of fires. See if I can move it around enough and show you while I drive at the same time. We had a lot of fires back on December 15th, along with 80 to 100 mile an hour winds. I got a video up on my other channel about that if you guys want to go watch our encounters with the fire, but it was devastating out here. Thousands and thousands and thousands of acres burned. Lots of people lost their homes, a few people lost their lives. It was insane. It's my turn. Almost missed it. Finally get to turn and go a different direction. Alright, now we're going to head east for a ways. About 16 or 17 miles, I forget. This does not look like near as good of a road. And it's a steep uphill climb. Come on, girlie, you can do it. Let's go! Too soon, dang it. Too steep of a hill to shift that soon. Come on. Probably doesn't look like a hill at all on camera. When we got there, the first thing I did was unload the dolly. Well, actually that's not quite true. The first thing I did was wiggle into position. This container was stuck in their backyard between their house, a windbreak row of cedar trees, and another row of elm trees, and their garden that was fenced in. It was a squeeze getting my truck in there. There is no way an 18-wheeler would fit into this place. And of course, that's the whole reason why I built this dolly and hitch to move this container myself, because you weren't getting any big equipment in here.
Give her some juice. Alley-oop.
I'll talk more about this mistake I made at the end of the video. The short version is I made my clamps to hold the container down to the dolly incorrectly. Because of that, I ended up having to cut out these spacers to get the alignment bolts to work, and the clamping system that holds it down to the dolly did not work at all. Like I said, we'll talk more about this at the end of the video. It's just that easy. Another clumsy task done in no time. Yeah, my clamps wouldn't have worked anyway to hold that down.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They're literally the exact right length. You can see in the dust here. They end right where that starts.
Yep.
Literally an inch off.
Our bad.
Dang it.
That's why they say measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, I didn't
But
measure once.
hard to measure when you're not on it.
I have to say, the VEVOR airbag jack would have been really nice right here at this point in time. I'm trying to lift this end of the container up so we can put some pipe rollers under it and winch this end of the container away from the windbreak. Those trees right there.
I'm sure I caught that, right?
And we squished the pipe. I didn't realize that this end of the container is what I guess is called an automotive hauler. I looked this up online, and apparently these are pretty common. Now, one end does not have cross members all the way across it. But since this container was up against these trees, I couldn't see that it was this style of container. I just assumed it was like the other end and had a cross member all the way across it. You can see the pipe squished in the forklift slot here. We talked with the landowner for a little while, and she agreed to let us just keep winching the dang container over, destroying her yard. She's going to have to resod where the container was sitting anyways, and we needed to get this thing out of here. While we were working, her neighbor stopped by, which was great. He was actually a really big help, saved us a lot of time. He was definitely a guy that knew what he was doing. He's definitely moved things before, had to deal with stuff on the farm. I could tell he was mechanically inclined. However, there was one and only one point of contention, and that was he really wanted to leave one pin in on this hitch and slide it into one shore lock and just kind of hook the whole hitch around and then put the other pin in. I didn't think it would work at all just based on the clearances that I have on this hitch, but we did get it to work. I do think it would have been faster to go ahead and pull both pins and put it on like I designed, straight on instead of trying to hook it. But hey, it worked.
Come on, Bessie.
My truck is having fuel issues. I think the seal around the hand primer is letting some air in. When we got back home, I packed that hand primer with grease to get it to seal, and the thing's running a whole lot better. So that's another item on my to-do list.
I don't know about that, bub. Oh, it's only a little smushed.
It's only a little smushed.
It'll still work for something, huh?
Yeah.
Then you got the GoPro camera on there and I'm standing in the way.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, now you're in the movie. It might
That's
be.
right.
It might be a. He might put a patent on that, and you'll be in the advertisement.
44.
What?
Quarter till 5. I know, right?
Might get home before dark.
Right. We measured one thing wrong, so the little, you're fine. So the little clamps we made for it aren't fitting. So he's just gonna weld it down just to give it a little more stability. Yeah.
Well, we are loaded. Jeepers creepers. Can't even get far enough away, can I? Walking. There we go. Okay, let's hit the road. Got a long ways to go and the sun is getting way further down than I was hoping by this time of day. Took longer to do this. Took a lot longer because we had to scoot this front end over. It took forever to get that moved over, so. The rest of them went real smooth though. Hit the road. Well, I can't wait to turn and head north because we are headed right into that dang sun. Oh, it's brutal. Tell you what, this container was pulling like a freaking brick. Gotta talk to you for a second here. When we were going to get the container, we met the road grader. When we left with the container, he had graded this road and made it into a field. I am not exaggerating. He must have left 3 inches of loose dirt up on top of this road. It's kind of hard to tell in this shot with the camera because you can see a farm tractor has been down the road and some cars already have packed it down just a little bit, but it is really, really, really soft dirt. It was like pulling this container through a plowed field. If I had known that this road grader was going to leave this road in this condition, we would have just gone up to the highway and taken it for a few miles to bypass this section of road. You see in the mirror? Pulling nice and straight at least. I think I got the alignment right. Okay, I gotta look back at the road. Turn a head mount camera here, so. Anyway, yep. Going down the road, pulling like a ton of bricks. I think we're gonna be making it alright. Oh yes, we're at the turn. I don't know if I can get going. I had to stop here by law. I'm on a hill. There we go. Spin it out. And I missed my shift. Can't see in my mirror over there. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Dang it. But I am out of the sun. Oh, you came unhooked. Okay. We are heading north finally. Finally, not looking into that sun. Well, the sun has gone down. If I can turn my head over there behind the mirror, whatever. See if this camera even picks up anything on screen or not, because it is dark out. But yeah, this thing is cruising now. So ever since we turned north, it has been so much easier. That road that we were on was the one that was graded, and boy, it was just soft and dirt. It was like, literally felt like driving in a plowed field. I was getting to get worried because I was like, man, I can't pull this tank container. But once we turned north, hit this road, in these solid tracks, I got plenty of horsepower. I am cruising easy. Feels good. So this will be my last entry unless something happens. So I'll just see you at home and probably give you a little recap in the morning. Well, we made it home last night. Everything went pretty good. Give you a little tour of this thing here first. Got it sitting in front of the garage. The dolly worked out great. Yeah, we'll talk about the dolly itself first. I made this too wide in here. I was going off this top measurement, but I didn't realize this lip was so far under these shipping containers down here. So way too far away. My clamps I made that were supposed to hold this down, yeah, these things way too short. So basically I need to move my hole in that much. Could have spent the time making new holes down there if I wanted to, but it was just faster to weld a little 1-inch bead on there. So, yep, those did not work out, and I'm actually a little too far out with this. This entire thing needs to be in, like, I don't know. What would that end up being? Whatever that gap is. Basically an inch, really. Just move this all in 1 inch and it'd be perfect. So, made these too wide, but put little spacers in there. Ended up running these in until they were tight out here, both of them. That way I knew it was in line and correct. And what really came out gratuitous on this is the cross members on the container are sitting on the cross members of the dolly. Exactly. I just did calculations of where I wanted this dolly to sit for the correct tongue weight, and it ended up being exactly on those cross members. I actually did not realize those were sitting on there until much later, after we had it loaded, after we were going down the road. I was checking on things.
So that's very nice. Springs are definitely looking pretty flat, but as you can see, I've still got movement between the axle and the frame there, so not overloaded yet anyway. The only problems I had was I lost this grease cap. That's just grease covered in dirt right there. I think I overfilled all of my hubs with grease. Whoops. That one came off apparently right away. My wife says she's pretty sure she saw it come off. Like a couple miles from where we picked up the container. But I kept an eye on this one. I was really worried about it. I had my grease gun with me. I thought, well, we'll stop every few miles and put grease in it if we have to. It keeps flinging it out. But it stayed just like that the whole way. And whenever I'd check the load every so many miles, I put my hand on the hub, and those hubs never even got warm. They were completely cool. It's very nice, so no problem there. So let's walk up here and talk about the hitch. It fit on there really nice. The guy that was there, her neighbor, decided to help us, which was okay, no problems there, but he really wanted to leave that pin in on that side and just push the scene on and then put this pin in. And it pretty much didn't fit, but we got it. I think it would have been faster to pull that pin out on that side and put the pins in once it was in place. But I mean, the hitch is great. My only complaint on the hitch is I wish it was a little bit longer up here. Whatever length this coupler is what I wish the hitch was longer. When turning, these support braces I put in there come up into my brake lights a lot quicker than I would really like. But otherwise, that all worked out great. No problems there. Okay, let's have a look inside. There's the back side. We did not have this window in when we traveled for two reasons. One, we had to take the air conditioner out because there was an air conditioner there, and we could not figure out how to get the panes in. And also, we were a little worried about just having that window in there. It's not a great window. I was afraid the panes would fall out, or possibly even a rock get kicked up there or something and break the glass. So we left that out the whole way, which was a mistake because it is covered in dust in here. Whew. So much dust everywhere. It was so dusty on the way home. But anyway, walk into the container. This is the first room. This is going to be our storage room. There's the window AC that was in that window. My plan currently is to actually take this wall out, and we're going to put in at least one door that is 4 foot wide. We might even just put double doors on it. Not sure exactly what our plan is, but we're going to make a big opening because I want to park our riding mower in here and some other stuff that just doesn't fit anywhere else on our property. We want it indoors. So probably park the riding mower like right there. And I think I'm going to try to put the big Rockford lathe up in this corner along this wall. I want it out of the garage really bad. And if this is just storage, I think it'll be fine in here. I'm not using the lathe a whole lot. Ever since I got the plasma table, my lathe time has been greatly diminished. Okay, so come in the back door. Turn you around here, get you confused. So come in the door here, along the container. And this is going to be our office and shipping area. There's cabinets up here, which I can't get far enough away to show you. And a counter here, so, you know, package our stuff up. We can have boxes piled up in here. And we do a lot of shipping now. A lot of online sales is how we're surviving these days. So we need some place where we can package and mail stuff and not do it on the dining room table anymore. Probably what we will do, we're not sure yet. Everything is kind of tentative at the moment. But get you oriented here again. Door we came in, storage room, office room. On this wall here, we're thinking about putting a walk-in door. That way, when you enter, you'll enter right into the office here. I think that makes the most sense because it seems silly to come in that side and walk through this storage all the time. you know, most of the time we're going to be coming into the office area. That's where we want to go in and out of. Okay, get you oriented one more time. Door we came in, storage room, office space, and straight on back. This will be the paint booth. We need to get insulated. The temperature difference in here is vast. It's sunny today, and it is hot in this room compared to the rest of the container. So nice little shelf unit back there. We can store all our paint cans on and stuff. We got loops up here, which I'm excited about because we can run some cables and stuff across the ceiling that my wife can put a bunch of hooks on so she can hang stuff. I've put some ventilation in it, of course. But yeah, excited about this. That's pretty much the tour. Very excited about it. Don't know what else to show you. We definitely picked the right day to move the container. It is snowing today. Woohoo! Picked the right day. You like the snow, Dakota? Are you happy it's snowing, buddy? You just don't like the wind.